guys, so it's been a while since I'm making any videos, and of course I stopped doing my videos at my 28-week pregnancy vlog. First of all, I wanted to apologize for that, for not making videos if you've been watching them. And of course, if you've been subscribing to my channel, I really want to thank you for taking your time out of your day and doing that and actually subscribing to me, even though I haven't made any videos. But basically, I had my baby boy, Johnny, on May the 2nd. And if you can hear him, I'm sorry, he's actually eating right now. And then yeah. So basically, I stopped doing my videos at around 28 weeks during my pregnancy just because I just didn't feel good anymore. I was getting really tired into my pregnancy, just getting all that fun stuff from your first trimester, the nausea and being fatigued all the time, and I just didn't even want to work anymore. So yeah, I also stopped working on April 28th during my 37th week pregnancy. Basically, this is going to be my labor and delivery update and my story and how it went down. To be honest, thankfully, I had a pretty easy labor, but it did not go as I wanted it to be. So it all started around 1:30 in the afternoon on May the 2nd. And just started getting really bad contractions. They were starting to be around 3 to 5 minutes apart from each other. Let me tell you, I am not a person that could deal with pain, any type of pain, especially menstrual cramps. I could be such a baby, so you could just imagine what the contractions did to me. But around that time, that's when it all started. I had a feeling for some reason that was going to be the day that I had on, because you could tell when your body's different. And I told my mom, thankfully she was with me, she was not working, so she told me to go take a bath and just get ready in case if it were to be the day, so I could just be cleaning all that stuff before I went to the hospital. So I took a bath, and that actually kind of helped me out in getting through the pain with the contractions. But at the same time, I just didn't like them. I just didn't like the pain. So then, actually, my husband also works in a restaurant, so he has a 3-hour break from like 2 to 5 in the afternoon. So thankfully, he was coming home already. But like I was saying, the contractions, since they were getting unbearable too, we already had all our things packed. My hospital bag and his bag were already packed. I was just like, you know what, just take me to the hospital, I think it's ready. So we were going to the hospital. Thankfully my husband was on the way. My dad had called him and told him. Then we headed to the hospital. I called the on-call doctor to meet us there, because I didn't have a doctor or anything. Like, I went to a private clinic that I had to meet like all these physicians, and then they told me that I had to choose a doctor. So I didn't want to choose a doctor, because what if that doctor couldn't make it? So I just called the on-call doctor, and he met us there. So they took me into the triage room. Once I got there and got everything ready, they started getting my contractions, started monitoring my contractions all around maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon already. The doctor came in and he checked me. He said that I was already at a 4-centimeter dilation. The week before that, I was a 2.5, because on that May the 3rd, I was going to have my next weekly appointment, but of course I didn't make it to that. So then he told me I was good to go. I was afraid that he was going to send me home, because I guess certain hospitals have like, I guess you have to be dilated to some point, or like a number or something. But thankfully I was at a 4. Thankfully, like I said, I had a pretty okay labor. I started dilating about every hour. Around 5:30 in the afternoon, I had asked already for my epidural because I didn't like the pain anymore. I was able to talk through that, but then at a point that I just couldn't anymore. So I got the epidural, which was wonderful. I loved it. I had a great experience after that. I just remember me able to take pictures and talk to my parents and my family that was with me in the room and my husband. So that went great. The only second part is, of course, you not being able to feel your legs or anything. I just couldn't feel them. It was just crazy. Of course, even your butt. So, yeah. So that went pretty good. So the doctor came back maybe about 7 o'clock. And then he had told me that I was already at a, what was it? A 6 or 7. Almost to a 8 dilated. So I was really excited because I was like, okay, he's almost coming. So we were all like guessing already around what time he was gonna come. So we all started guessing, and then around 9 o'clock already, that's when he came back again. He was like, okay, I feel like you're gonna need to push this around this time. So just get ready for that. So then, of course, mentally and physically, I was trying to get ready for all that stuff because I just wanted to have all that energy to be able to push. Almost around 9:30, that's when he was like, okay, it's officially, you're fully dilated and let's start pushing. So we started pushing about maybe 15 minutes. And then it came to a point that he was like, he's not coming through the birth canal. Every time you keep pushing, he keeps going back and his heart rate keeps going down and down and down. That's where I started freaking out. They had to give me the oxygen mask 2 times because I just wouldn't cooperate. I was just getting freaked out and stressed out, and I started crying a little bit because, of course, I didn't want anything to happen to him. So then he had told me that since that wasn't working, they were gonna do the metal forceps on him, but he didn't want to do it in that room when everyone was in there. So they were gonna take me into the operating room, but just to get ready that if that didn't work out, that of course I was gonna have an emergency C-section because his heart rate was just going down and they didn't want to risk anything or any type of infections. So they took me in there. Of course, the forceps didn't work. He wanted to help me out, but it didn't. And then, of course, we had the C-section. My husband came in with me. And I just remember so little of it, to be honest, because I was so drugged up of all the medicine that they were giving me. It came to a point that I don't even remember his first cry. I didn't, because it was crazy. I had all that medicine in my body. I didn't even eat that day. It was just crazy. I just didn't remember anything. All I know is that they brought him to me just for me to take a look at him, and then that's it. Then I knocked out completely. Then of course I asked my husband what happened because I didn't remember, and what he tells me is that after they showed him to me, they gave him to him, and they told him that they were going to give him a bath, of course, and take out everything, all that stuff, and just clean him up. And then they were going to take him into, I guess they were going to do the vitals and all that. And then after that, they were going to take him into the room where I was going to be in, where my family was already waiting for us and for them to see him. So they did that. And then, of course, they took me into my room where my whole family was waiting for me. And then I saw my baby boy. Finally, I was, alert of everything. And just me staring at him, it was so unreal that I couldn't, I can't describe how I felt that day when I saw him, because I was so excited to meet him and just see his beautiful face and everything. So, of course, I saw him. I started trying to breastfeed. It did work out for maybe 3 days in the hospital during the time that I was there. And then, of course, right now, we're no longer breastfeeding. He is now 3 weeks old, and it just didn't work out for me. I thought it was, but it didn't, so we're just formula feeding. But thankfully, like I said, that is basically my labor and delivery. It went all down in about 7 hours. Thankfully, I thought it was going to be more than 20 hours, to be honest. But everything went great. Thankfully, after that, he's healthy. I'm healthy. The only second part is that exactly a week after the delivery. I did go back to the hospital due to an infection that I had inside during the pregnancy, which thankfully it didn't get to him or anything, which was crazy because they never told me about that infection during the time that I was pregnant or anything, which I told the doctor why, but he can't even explain it himself. But it wasn't a big infection. It was a little infection in my stomach that now it's, of course, cured. But that week that I went back I went back, like I said, after a week because I had a high fever due to that. So I was in more antibiotics and more pain meds and all that stuff. But now I'm off them. I'm doing really, really good. Now it's just me being at home until I go back to work and just taking care of him. Thankfully, I have my mom's help and my husband's and my dad's helping me out because, of course, the recovery of a C-section is pretty crazy. You can't really do much. You can't, drive. You can't pretty much not do anything the first few weeks, for the first 2 weeks, to be honest, because, of course, like I said, now he's 3 weeks old, so I'm pretty good. I can drive now. Of course, I'm not doing more lifting than what he is. And then all I'm basically waiting for is for the doctor to be okay for me to start exercising, which that's going to probably wait until like the next month. And yeah, so I'm just trying to do good and trying to recover from everything. My C-section cut, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, surgery. It's pretty good. I got not the staples, the other thing, the glue or something. I don't know, but they put like bandages. I don't know what they're called. But anyways, the bandages were taken off last week. So yeah, so basically that is basically it of my delivery. Like I said, it all went great except for the vaginal delivery that I wanted. But I mean, like I said, it was better off just doing the C-section just because I wanted him to be healthy and everything to be good. I didn't want him to run with any type of sickness or infections or anything. But he's been doing really good. He's been gaining weight about every pound every week, which is kind of crazy because I feel like he's going to be a big boy, which my husband is not, but I guess it depends from the genes of the family. But yeah, now we have just a 2-month checkup, which is in a pretty long time, and hopefully time doesn't go too fast now because I don't want him to grow up too fast. It's just wonderful having him so tiny and just, giving him all my love and just snuggling with him and giving him all my love and all that stuff. But I'll show him a little bit just so you can see him. He's kind of sleeping right now, so we'll see. But his name is Johnny. Hopefully he won't cry, but that's my little baby. But yeah, he is wonderful. He's a good eater. He sleeping wise too. He wakes up about every 2 to 3 hours, sometimes even more than 4 hours. But yeah, he sleeps in the bassinet. Then we're gonna move him to his crib when he's older, of course. But yeah, so basically that is my labor and delivery. And oh my god, I have to clean him because he just pooped. But anyways, thank you so much for taking your time and watching this video. Hopefully you guys liked it. Keep commenting and subscribing. And thank you so much for taking your time out of your day and watching this video. Thank you so much. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.